Starting with deceptive trick number 1, and that is using cheap caulking to mask a failing roof. If you don't think that sellers actually do this, there's a landmark real estate fraud case out of Illinois that proves it. I want you to pay extra close attention to tricks number 3 and 7 because they are the absolute hardest to spot, but they are by far the most expensive to fix. Which brings us directly to trick number 2, strategically hanging large artwork directly over a foundation issue. Sellers are actually getting sued and losing big for this exact stunt. That's exactly why California has a strict digital deception law called Assembly Bill 723, and it was specifically passed to crack down on sellers who use heavy physical artwork or even fake virtual staging to deliberately blind buyers from severe foundation cracks caused by shifting soil. The real estate fraud experts at Newman Legal note that the moment a seller hangs a frame to hide a structural nightmare, the law calls it intentional fraudulent concealment. You don't just have the right to look past the staging, you have the absolute legal right to inspect every single square inch of that property. So keep that in mind when you're shopping for a house. Number 3 is one of our big ones, but real quick, if you're finding value in this video so far, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. So, trick number 3 is using a fresh coat of paint, specifically utilizing heavy-duty Kills primer, and I worked with this primer. Clean, fresh paint is a classic staging trick, but when it is used in raw, unfinished utility spaces like basements, garages, or attics, it's an absolute red flag. If you walk downstairs and get hit with that unmistakable, sharp chemical smell of a brand new paint, pause and take a closer look. Sellers use Kills stain blocking primer because it's engineered to permanently seal in catastrophic stains and odors so that they don't bleed through the regular paint. Shady sellers are going to use that paint directly over active toxic black mold on foundation walls, severe smoke damage from a hidden fire, or horizontal water lines from recurring flooding. Trick number 4 is using scents to mask concerning odors. So if you step through the front door and you get blasted by a suffocating wall of scented candles or plug-in air fresheners, your guard should skyrocket because the sellers might not be trying to be cozy. They could be trying to drown out a foul odor that would kill the sale instantly, like active mold in the HVAC or pests in the crawl space, or even worse, a cracked sewer line. Your nose, believe it or not, is a critical inspection tool when you're touring a house because courts actually legally treat a persistent musty smell as a latent defect. In fact, over a dozen states, including California, Texas, and Florida, have strict laws that make persistent property odors a mandatory disclosure. So when a seller uses heavy fragrances to mask a biological smell, they are intentionally hiding physical evidence of severe damage. Moving on to number 5, and that is using oversized area rugs or heavy clunky furniture layouts to disguise horrible flooring and subfloor defects. When a room is beautifully staged, a large plush rug under a dining table, or a bed that looks like a high-end design choice, in reality, it can be a literal screen to blind you from what's happening underneath your feet. So be sure to investigate further before making a decision. And speaking of furniture, trick number 6 is staging rooms with hyper-specific, ultra-low profile furniture and leaving every single blind and window treatment wide open. This is a psychological layout trick designed to mask a severe lack of functional square footage and an unfixable, terrible exterior view. They are trying to make a tiny, cramped 8x8 room look like a spacious suite. Once you move your real-world furniture in, you would instantly realize that you can't even open the closet door without hitting the bed frame. And worse, if the property is virtually staged so that the dimensions are way off and you're completely deceived. So be extra wary when it comes to virtual staging photos. Number 7 is another critical trick, which is basically turning on every single light fixture, accent lamp, and appliance throughout the entire house during a bright daytime showing. Sellers could claim that they do this to make the house look vibrant, but it's often a classic cover-up for a dangerously outdated, low voltage, or completely overloaded electrical system. Number 8 is the dead storage masking technique. When you're inspecting a basement, a garage wall, or a large walk-in closet, for example, you will often find an entire wall completely packed from floor to ceiling with heavy, tightly stacked moving boxes or old plastic storage bins. curtains or massive pieces of gym equipment. You get what I'm saying. The listing agent could give you the classic line, "Oh, the sellers are just getting a head start on moving out," or "They haven't yet been able to declutter this space." Don't fall for it. In reality, they're using those heavy boxes as a literal structural barricade to prevent you and your home inspector from physically accessing that wall. Behind that fortress of cardboard is almost always a massive horizontal foundation crack or bowing the concrete wall inward, severe termite mud tubes climbing up the sill plate, or a massive patch of black mold thriving in a damp corner. So inspectors are generally not allowed to move a seller's personal property, meaning the seller can successfully block the inspection of that wall entirely. What you need to do to avoid this trap is write a contingency into your contract requiring the seller to completely clear all obstructions so that your inspector can return and verify that wall before closing. Number 9 is turning on a loud bathroom exhaust fan, or running the kitchen garbage disposal, or playing upbeat background music through a smart home surround system during the open house. The seller might claim something like they're just trying to create a relaxing sensory experience, but in reality, this acoustic masking is to drown out some mechanical and environmental noises that you otherwise wouldn't hear. They are using that ambient sound to mask loud metallic dying clanking of a 20-year-old HVAC compressor outside on the verge of complete failure. Or they're trying to hide the aggressive vibrating grind of a failing sewer ejector pump in the basement. When you walk through a house that you're considering buying, you need to experience it in total silence. Respectfully ask the listing agent to turn off the music system, flip off the bathroom exhaust fans, and I want you to stand in the center of the room and listen. Number 10 is the unplugged appliance trick. If you tour a home on a hot summer day and you notice that the central air conditioning unit is completely shut off, or if you walk into the garage and notice that the automatic garage door opener is completely unplugged from the ceiling outlet, you're right to be suspicious. The seller or listing agent could make an excuse like, "Oh, the home is vacant, so we're just trying to save on the utility bill." This is an active trap. Sellers leave these major mechanical systems unplugged or shut down because they know that the moment that you turn them on, their failure will be completely obvious. They know that the AC compressor lines are completely frozen solid and blowing hot air, or that the garage door's heavy torsion springs are snapped. They leave them dead, hoping you won't bother to plug them in and test them during a quick walkthrough. Always test every major mechanical component. Plug in the garage door opener, turn this thermostat down, or assume that it's broken and budget for a total replacement. This is just to protect you as the buyer who is spending a lot of money purchasing a house. And at the end of the day, your absolute best defense against a shady seller is a licensed independent home inspector who doesn't care about making the sale happen. Never let a listing agent rush you through a walkthrough, and never fall for the staging. If something feels off, look closer. Keep your guard up, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.